It's a video script.
Oh, wow.
It's really fascinating how it tries to make this complex theological concept, accessible,
Yeah.
using visuals and narration and like a really smart selection of Bible verses and Psalms.
I know. It really caught my eye, too. You don't often see that kind of visual storytelling approach with, topics of faith.
Exactly.
The script seems to really understand the power of imagery and metaphors,
Right.
especially when you're trying to connect with an audience on like a deeper level.
Totally. It's not just about stating the idea. It's about like creating an experience.
Right.
It's like right from the start, they use this imagery of a peaceful sunrise.
Oh, yeah.
As the narrator is kind of welcoming you into this moment of reflection.
Yeah.
I can almost feel myself getting pulled into that calm atmosphere just thinking about it.
And that atmosphere sets the stage perfectly for that message of trust. They're building, right? Like they immediately introduced Jeremiah 29.11.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
That well-known verse, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." It just establishes this idea of a bigger picture right away, even before they get into like the nitty-gritty of trust.
Yeah, it's like they're grounding the whole thing in this sense of optimism before they even acknowledge the potential struggles.
Exactly.
Which honestly is kind of reassuring. Like they're acknowledging that even when things are tough, there's this underlying foundation of goodness. Have you ever noticed how that impacts you when you're, going through something difficult?
I think it's a really powerful reminder.
Yeah.
Especially when we're tempted to get caught up in like the immediate challenges we're facing.
Totally.
That's actually where the first segment, the foundation of trust, gets really interesting.
Okay.
They use this visual of a strong foundation being built brick by brick.
I love that.
What do you think about that metaphor and how it relates to building trust? Especially like in a spiritual sense.
I think it's brilliant, honestly. It's like they're visually demonstrating that trust isn't some like magical thing that happens overnight.
Right.
It takes effort, intentionality. It's something you cultivate through actions and choices.
Right.
It's like a physical foundation. It requires the right materials, the right kind of support
For sure.
to be strong and lasting.
Yeah.
And that reminds me of all the times I've tried to force things, like to rush trust without really putting in the work.
Yeah.
It never quite works out that way, does it?
It really doesn't.
No?
It's like trying to build a house on sand, And the script reinforces that idea by bringing in Proverbs 3.56. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your paths straight.
It's a classic.
A classic verse, yeah.
I'm curious, what stands out to you about that idea of surrendering control? Is it something you've, struggled with?
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
Definitely.
Letting go of that need to control everything.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
It's so challenging. Our brains are practically wired for it,
They are.
But this verse and like that whole visual of the foundation, it suggests something different.
Totally.
It's like it's saying, hey, it's okay to not have all the answers. In fact, it's better that way. Lean into the unknown. Lean into that higher power. But that doesn't mean being passive, right? It's more about actively choosing where to place your trust, wouldn't you say?
I completely agree.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that there's a wisdom beyond our own, a plan that's bigger than what we can currently see.
Totally.
And that brings us to another powerful image they use.
Okay.
The shepherd from Psalm 23.
Okay.
Leading his flock to green pastures and still waters.
Yeah.
The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul.
It's beautiful imagery, isn't it?
It is.
How do you see that connecting to the idea of building a foundation of trust?
It's like they're saying, okay, you've put in the work.
Right.
You've built your foundation. Now allow yourself to be guided, to be led to those places of peace and nourishment.
Yeah.
It's such a comforting image.
It is.
Especially when you're feeling lost or overwhelmed. And it speaks to that duality of trust, right?
Yeah.
You have to build your own foundation.
Right.
But you also have to recognize that you're not alone in the journey.
For sure.
There's this guiding force, this shepherd, helping you along the way.
And that sense of guidance is crucial
Huh.
because, as the script highlights, doubt is inevitable.
Yeah.
We all experience moments of questioning, uncertainty, even when our faith is strong.
It happens.
That's why I think the next segment, Overcoming Doubt, is so relatable. Okay.
They show a person standing at the edge of a cliff.
Oh, wow.
Hesitant, uncertain.
Yeah.
It's a feeling I think we can all connect with on some level.
Absolutely.
Right.
That image immediately brings to mind those moments in life where you're standing at a crossroads, feeling paralyzed by fear and indecision.
Totally.
And just when that sense of doubt starts creeping in,
Yeah.
they hit you with 2 Corinthians 5:7.
Oh, I love that one.
For we walk by faith, not by sight.
Yes.
It's like a lifeline in the midst of all that uncertainty.
It is. It is. It's a powerful reminder that we don't need to have everything figured out to move forward.
Right.
Sometimes taking that leap of faith, even when we're scared or unsure, is the most courageous thing we can do.
I agree.
But the script doesn't just tell us to have faith.
Right.
It acknowledges the fear, those very real emotions that can make trusting so difficult.
Oh, for sure. Like, it's one thing to say, just trust God, but it's quite another to actually do it when you're facing real life challenges and anxieties.
Yeah.
That's where Psalm 56.3-4 comes in, right?
Yes.
That idea of, finding refuge and strength in God when you're afraid.
When I am afraid, I put my trust in you. In God, whose word I praise, in God I trust and am not afraid. What can mere mortals do to me?
It's a verse that speaks directly to the heart of our human experience, We all experience fear.
Yeah.
But the psalm suggests that the more we choose to trust, the more we express our faith, the less power fear has over us.
Absolutely.
It's like a muscle we can strengthen through practice.
It is.
It
is.
It's like they're saying, hey, it's okay to be afraid, but don't let fear be the driving force.
Right.
Choose trust instead.
Choose trust.
And that leads us perfectly into the third segment.
Okay.
Trusting God in hard times, which is where things get really real.
This is where the strip dives into the reality that life isn't always easy.
Right.
There will be storms, moments of hardship.
For sure.
Loss.
Yeah.
And in those moments, it can be incredibly difficult to hold on to trust, to believe that there's like a greater good at play.
Yeah, they don't sugarcoat it at all.
It don't.
They show a person walking through like a literal storm.
Oh, wow.
And it's visually jarring, almost unsettling.
Yeah.
Like you can feel the weight of that experience, the rawness of it.
Yeah.
But even in that darkness, they offer a beacon of hope with Hebrews 13.5.
Oh, yeah.
Never will I leave you. Never will I forsake you.
Talk about powerful words.
Powerful words.
To cling to when everything feels like it's falling apart. How does that verse make you feel?
It's a promise that resonates deeply.
Yeah.
Especially when we feel alone, abandoned.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that even in the darkest of storms, there's a presence, a love that's constant, unwavering.
Yeah.
And that presence is there to offer support, guidance, and ultimately a way through the storm. It's like knowing that even though you're walking through fire, you're not being burned.
Right.
And that's where Psalm 34.18 comes in, speaking directly to those who are brokenhearted.
Right.
The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit.
Yeah, they're acknowledging that sometimes life just hurts.
It really does.
But even in that pain, God is present, offering comfort and healing.
It's a beautiful reminder that our pain doesn't go unnoticed.
Does it?
That there's a compassion that sees us in our most vulnerable moments.
It sees us.
It's a powerful message to receive when you're feeling lost and broken.
Absolutely.
It's like they're saying, hey, we see you. We see your pain. And we're here for you.
And we're here for you.
And that's what I find so compelling about this script. It doesn't shy away from the tough stuff.
It doesn't.
It acknowledges the messiness of life, the very real struggles people face.
It does.
Yeah.
And that honesty is refreshing, isn't it?
It is.
It's what makes this whole exploration of trust so relatable.
Yeah.
Because it's not about pretending that everything is sunshine and roses.
Right.
It's about acknowledging the storms, the darkness.
Yeah.
And choosing to trust even when it feels impossible.
It's powerful stuff.
And that's what makes the transition to the next segment so powerful,
Okay.
The reward of trust. After acknowledging the struggles, they shift the focus to hope and resilience.
Okay.
And they use this like stunning visual of a sunrise over a mountaintop.
Oh, wow.
What do you think about that shift in tone and imagery, especially after such a heavy segment?
It's like a breath of fresh air.
It is.
It's almost as if they're visually demonstrating that feeling of overcoming, of reaching a new height after a challenging climb.
Yeah.
And it makes me think about how those moments of difficulty, the storms we just talked about, they often lead to incredible growth and transformation. It's like the view from the mountaintop is all the more beautiful because of the effort it took to get there.
Absolutely. And the script reinforces that idea with Isaiah 6.3.
Okay.
You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you.
Powerful stuff.
It's not about the absence of challenges, but rather the presence of trust and faith that brings that sense of peace.
Right.
What does that idea of perfect peace mean to you?
It makes me think about those moments when everything around me feels chaotic,
Hmm.
but somehow deep down I have this sense of calm,
Yeah.
this knowing that everything will work out okay.
Huh.
It's not about ignoring the problems or pretending they don't exist, you know?
Right.
It's more about finding that inner stillness, that anchor in the midst of the storm. It's
Yeah.
not always easy to find,
No,
but when you do, it's incredibly powerful.
it is. It's like tapping into a source of strength that's greater than our own.
Yeah.
A source that can carry us through anything.
Yeah.
And speaking of strength, the script follows that up with Psalm 27.1.
Okay.
The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?
Such a bold declaration.
Isn't
It's
it?
like a complete 180 from that image of doubt and uncertainty at the edge of the cliff.
It is. It's like they're showing us the full spectrum of emotion
Right.
and
Yeah.
experiences. You know,
Yeah.
we go through when it comes to trust, from fear and uncertainty to courage and unwavering strength.
It's all part of the journey.
It is.
But what's so powerful about this segment is that it highlights how trust can lead to this incredible sense of empowerment.
Yes.
This fearlessness that
Okay.
comes from knowing you're not alone.
It's like that fearlessness is the natural outcome of placing your trust in something bigger than yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When you truly believe that God is your protector, your guide, your source of strength,
Yeah,
then fear just loses its grip.
I agree.
It's a powerful message to receive, especially in a world that often feels so uncertain and chaotic.
It really is.
Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It makes me think about those times in my life when I've had to make like a difficult decision, you know,
Yeah.
or face a challenge that just seemed insurmountable.
Right?
And in those moments, remembering that I'm not alone, that there's a higher power guiding and supporting me, it makes all the difference.
It does.
Like that sense of trust gives me the courage to move forward,
Yeah.
even when I'm scared.
Even when you're scared.
It's like that trust becomes the fuel that propels us forward, even when the path ahead seems unclear.
It does. It does.
And that brings us to the final segment,
Okay.
reflection and prayer, where the script takes a more introspective turn.
Interesting.
The visuals shift to peaceful nature scenes, people in prayer, or quiet contemplation.
Okay.
It's almost as if they're inviting the viewer to take a moment to pause and internalize everything they've just experienced.
That's a beautiful transition.
It is.
Yeah.
And I love how they do it through direct question. Like, what area of your life do you need to trust God more deeply? Are there fears or doubts that you need to surrender to him?
It makes it so personal.
It does. It's not just a passive viewing experience, you know?
Right.
They're actively engaging you, prompting you to reflect on how this all applies to your own life.
It's a brilliant way to bring the viewer into the conversation,
I agree.
to encourage them to move beyond simply observing the message to actually applying it to their own experiences.
Exactly.
And then they offer a simple, heartfelt prayer, almost like a template for the viewer to use as they kind of embark on their own journey of deeper trust.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the inclusion of that prayer?
I think it's incredibly powerful, especially for someone who might be new to prayer, you know,
Yeah.
or unsure of how to even begin.
Right.
It provides a framework, a starting point, without feeling overly prescriptive or formulaic. And the words themselves are so beautifully chosen.
Yeah,
Acknowledging God's faithfulness, asking for help in walking by faith, not by sight, and finding peace in his presence.
it's a beautiful prayer.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a prayer that I think could resonate with anyone, regardless of where they are on their spiritual path, you know.
For sure.
What do you think about that idea of meeting people where they are, especially when it comes to matters of faith?
I think it's crucial,
Yeah.
especially in a world where people's beliefs and experiences are so diverse, you know?
Yeah.
It's not about trying to fit everyone into the same mold or impose a specific set of beliefs.
Right.
It's about creating a space where people feel welcomed and respected and empowered to explore their own relationship with the divine,
Yeah,
whatever that may look like for them.
I agree.
And this script seems to do just that.
It does.
Yeah.
It's like they've created this beautiful tapestry of visuals, verses, and narration,
Uh-huh.
all woven together to create an experience that's both moving and thought-provoking. And even though it's centered around like a specific religious tradition, there's this universality to the message, this exploration of trust that I think could resonate with anyone who's ever wrestled with doubt, fear, or the desire for something greater than themselves.
I agree, and that universality is what makes this script so compelling.
Totally.
It's not just a theological treatise or a religious sermon.
Right.
It's a story about the human experience, about the challenges we face, and the ways in which we find meaning, purpose, and connection in the midst of it all.
Yeah.
And that's a story that transcends cultural boundaries and religious affiliations.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like they've tapped into this fundamental human need for something to believe in, something to hold on to when everything else feels uncertain.
Right.
You know? And that's a powerful thing, especially in a world that often feels so fragmented and disconnected.
It really is.
But here's what really blows my mind.
What's that?
We're having this whole deep dive based on a video script. It's not a novel, a film, or even a spoken word performance.
Right.
It's a blueprint for a visual experience.
Yeah.
Yet it's sparking this rich, nuanced conversation about faith, trust, and the human condition.
It's amazing.
It is.
It's a testament to the power of storytelling, isn't it?
It is.
Regardless of the medium, a well-crafted narrative has the ability to transport us, to make us think, feel, and question in ways we might not have anticipated.
Yeah.
And this script, with its intentional use of imagery, music, and thoughtfully chosen words, it creates an experience that lingers long after the credits roll.
It's like it plants a seed in your mind, you know?
Yeah.
This little spark of curiosity or inspiration that keeps growing and evolving even after you finished watching.
Right.
And that, to me, is the mark of truly impactful storytelling.
It is. It's about creating an experience that transcends the moment.
Yeah.
That stays with you.
Yeah.
That prompts you to continue exploring and questioning long after the story is over. And this script seems to do just that.
It's like it's given us this new lens through which to view our own experiences.
Yeah.
A new language for understanding the complexities of trust and faith.
I like that.
And it makes me wonder.
What's that?
What other unexpected sources of inspiration are out there waiting to be discovered and explored? What other unconventional narratives hold the potential to spark these kinds of profound conversations and insights?
That's a fascinating question. It's like this deep dive has opened up a whole new world of possibilities, showing us that inspiration can be found in the most unexpected places.
It really has.
It's about being open to new perspectives, new ways of seeing and experiencing the world around us.
It's about recognizing that even something as seemingly simple as a video script can hold profound truths and insights waiting to be uncovered and shared.
Absolutely.
It's like we're all on this treasure hunt together,
Yeah.
searching for those hidden gems of wisdom and understanding that help us navigate the complexities of life.
And sometimes those gems are found not in the obvious places,
Right.
but in the nooks and crannies, in the unexpected corners of our experience.
Exactly.
It's about being curious, being open to the possibility that inspiration can strike us from anywhere, at any time.
And speaking of unexpected inspiration,
Yeah?
we can't wrap up without talking about that powerful ending
Oh, the ending.
they use in the script.
Yeah.
They bring back that verse from Psalm 119.105, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path."
It's beautiful.
Such a fitting conclusion, isn't it?
It is.
Like they're sending the viewer off with this beacon of hope and guidance to illuminate their own journey.
It's a beautiful reminder that even when we feel lost or uncertain, there's a source of light, a source of guidance available to us. Whether we find that light in scripture, in nature, in the words of a loved one, or even in a well-crafted video script, it's a reminder that we're never truly alone.
It's like they're saying, hey, we've walked you through this exploration of trust. We've shown you the highs and lows, the challenges and the triumphs. Now take this light, this wisdom, and apply it to your own life. Let it guide you, illuminate your path, and help you navigate the uncertainties ahead with confidence and purpose.
It's a powerful message to end on.
It is.
A message that encourages us to take ownership of our own journeys, to embrace the unknown, and to trust that even when we can't see the way clearly, there's a light guiding us forward.
Yeah, it's like they've given us this toolkit,
Yeah.
for navigating life's ups and downs, reminding us that even when things get tough, there's a source of strength and guidance we can always turn to. But I'm curious, what do you think makes this script so effective in communicating such a complex concept like trust? Is it the visuals, the verses, the narration? What really stands out to you?
I think